Hello everybody, my name is Monty Tislin. Today we're going to be discussing a new feature that they have in Epicor 10.1500. It is in the BPM section, the Business Process Management, where you can actually validate your code that's in the BPM prior to you doing it. It'll actually help you figure out what's wrong with your code. It's a nice feature, I know, but something that has been well worth the wait. So anyway, let's start this process. To start this, we go into System Management. We will go into the Business Process Management, and I am actually going to open a Data Directive Maintenance. So I am going to put one on the order release. There's nothing in here, and I'm going to create a new in transaction directive. I'm not really going to give it a name because, well, actually I will. I'm going to give it a name. We'll get rid of it later. But so we're going to come in here. I'm doing that just as simply for one reason. I want to see what it's going to do when we actually try to save and we don't have everything set up right. So I'm going to drop a code module in here. We're going to grab it. I'm going to go into the code. And one thing too, they have changed how in this version versus the old one where the usings are. It used to be up here at the top. They used to have the using references, the usings and the references as tabs up here. They're now down under this button down here. So I'm going to come in here and I am going to paste some code in here. Now normally in the previous versions, once you got this code in here, you'd have to exit and then go out, enable it, save it in order for it to try to do the compile. But now we have this new little button over here. It's called Check Syntax down in the lower right. If I run that button, it comes up with a list of items that we can see here are the issues. Now, since this doesn't have any line numbers, one would hope that, how do I figure out which one this is? Well, one thing that's nice about this is if you double click on the issue, it will take you to the line that has the issue right here. So you're not trying to find it in your code, so that's a huge feature. So as we go through it, here's the other one. They have these other things. We're going in here. So anyway, because I don't have this field in here, I'm just going to give it a value. Let's see if that changes anything. Okay. So we have another one. Let's solve that problem. We're going to recompile. Okay, that's what I thought. I believe, yes, we have to do the double quote. Getting my SQL and my BPMs were messed up. There we go. Let's try it again. Haha. Now we're down to some other things. So we have that taken care of. It comes down here and it tells us we have a problem. So in this contracts, this one's calling a service contract. So I'm going to have to add a couple things to it in order to make this work properly. So my using, I'm going to set a using statement here. And I'm going to actually have to add an assembly. ERP dot contracts dot BO dot here. And we're going to call it prodcal. Oop, there it is right there. Okay. Since I'm using the prodcal service, we have to add the assembly. And in order to reference this directly, we need to add that using the erp.bo. So let's see what it does. Ah, look at that. So now that works. So what I'm actually going to do here is, and then normally you would exit and you would save and go out. So I'm just going to pop out here for a second. We hit OK. Now one thing that's been here for a while is this validate button down here. I'm going to tell you for a fact that that validate button just looks to make sure that basically you have everything connected up here. It has nothing to do with the code, and I'll show you that in just a second. I'm going to run through the process. And we're waiting, and we're waiting. Aha, look at that. Validation succeeded, no issues were found. All right. So I'm going to go back into this again. And I am going to remove the ones that fixed this. I'm going to break it again. So when I check the syntax, it's going to tell me I have a problem. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now I'm going to save this the way it is. This will let you save it the way it is, but it will tell you that, hey, there's an error, which is a beautiful thing too. But we're going to close it anyway. So now at this point in time, remember, we have a code in here that is not valid. So I'm going to validate this again. Possibly. Are we going to allow it here? I just want to make sure things are working here. Okay. Validate. Okay. So now we save. Okay, if I save this now, it doesn't check anything because it's not enabled, just like the old one. So I'm going to save it. Let's see if it flags an error. It says there was a compile error. Okay, so this one at least is telling you again what the error is, so it's good. We still have that capability, so at least now we know that it's functional to that level. So let's go back down in here. I want to make sure that's clear. Let's see if we can validate it. And as you see here, no issues were found, even though we know that there is code in here that's bad. So just keep in mind, this validate does not validate your code. So if we go down here and we refix what was wrong, check it, we're good. And we're going to save. We're going to save it. All is well. That's all I've got for the Lunch and Learn. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate your time.